Welcome to Lewis on the Law.
You are listening to Lewis on the Law, and I have yet another powerful and empowering show for you today, because today we're talking about an area of law that's really close to my heart. It's heirs property, and it's one of the reasons why I practice the type of law that I do. I actually was in law school one day, and an attorney who worked with the Georgia Appleseed Project, I know you guys ran across them, came in, and I was an urban fellow for the Center for Comparative Studies of Metropolitan Growth, and she started talking about heirs property, and when I heard that, I was thinking air, like the air you breathe, and I'm like, what in the world? This is going to be the world's most boring lecture. And she started talking about this property and how it had been passed from the 1800s, and I was like, oh my God, I have property like that in my family. I have, and I was, and it really connected with me. And so I started to really go into the issues on how to unravel an heirs property issue. And so I studied that for almost the second half of my law school career. I basically geared all my courses to how do you unravel a complex issue when property's been handed down for over 100 years, maybe close to 200 years without clear title. I mean, it becomes a mess at that point. So, and like I said, this case, if you follow their website, it's going to be really invaluable to you, because you're going to follow the process that a family takes to unravel an heirs property case. Why don't you give them some contact information for your website? Because I think it's going to be a great resource for all you listeners out there dealing with this issue.
Absolutely, because we also want to empower others to go on the journey that we're going on. And you can find information at www.thehickspreserve.org.
Excellent. So, clearing title. That's where we're at now. We're going to take the steps to clearing title. Okay, so for the very first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to figure out who has an interest in that property. So you're going to have to do a family tree, and that can get complicated, especially when the property is over 100 years old, or maybe more than that, close to 200. So you guys did a family tree. Tell me a little bit about that experience. First, how many heirs?
Well, I was going to say it's over 100 heirs.
Over 100 heirs?
Over 100 heirs.
That's an incredible number.
Well, so, you talk about this family tree, which is a huge family tree. So what we started interviewing family members, particularly those in the area at Vidalia, right there near the property, to find out, who do you know as descendants. And so in addition to that interview, what we're doing as we're kind of building the family tree, we're developing a road show, if you will. Mm-hmm. And so we mentioned our website, thehickspreserve.org, which has a presentation that we've done. It's also an interview that we've done that's recorded so that individuals can listen to the story even before we make contact with them personally. So we're continuing to build this family tree. We're continuing to get contact information and trying to tell the story in a clear, coherent manner that stretches over 100 years. And so we're now taking this road show on the road. We were literally in Vidalia just yesterday, had a hugely successful meeting with the 5 descendants of Lily B. Jones, which is Thomas's grandmother. And so we talked to her children, including my mother-in-law and aunts and uncles. And all of those individuals signed the quitclaim deeds so that they have now signed over their nominal interest. And so that's the first 5. And so 95 plus to go. But we were really pleased to have the opportunity to get them on board with this initiative.
And what happened is, because I grew up out there, I knew all of the original descendants and most of their children. So I know someone in each branch of the tree, if you will. And I don't know all 100 or over 100 heirs, but I do know someone in each one of the families. And so we're using the as L'Oreal mentioned, who do you know concept to continue to build contacts and make contacts and get this information in front of them and ask them to do exactly what the other family members are doing now, and that's transferring their interest. I think is what you told me the term was.
And that is the second step. After you've identified all the heirs out there, go ahead and begin to consolidate the interest, and that's what they're doing through quitclaim deeds, and that's the easiest way. You can just go ahead and get people to quitclaim their interest over
to the Charles Hicks Preserve,
and that's an extremely important thing. Is who are they consolidating their interest to, or who are they assigning their interest to?
They're turning it over to the Charles and Polly and Hicks Preserve. It's an initiative, and that's going to become the collective owner.